The company register onboarding costs they make per quarter. Onboarding costs are the costs that company makes to find new staff. Each quarter they register the number of new staff hired in that quarter and the onboarding costs made in that quarter. The HR manager is worried about the onboarding costs. It seems they are increasing. The HR manager give you the data, the onboarding costs per quarter of the last few years in Excel file data for onboarding. So that's the Excel file already existing. You need to load that as well. So load the data, transform if needed, create data model, use text function if needed, and create a new page and appropriate visualization to show trend in time of the cost. So this is what we need. We need the cost of the onboarding and we need the time. We already have the time, we just need to work on the cost. Hint, consider which cost you want to know, you want to show. Also, define a KPI. So this part is wrong. So just ignore this part, but I will explain it. Define KPI, set target for KPI to 50% of the last value. The reason why this sentence is wrong, you should accept, is that we don't know what he means by the last value. Then we cannot define 50%. And show visualization goals including the targets.
Should we make calculations during the exam or it's gonna be given?
It always depends. I cannot tell you what's in the exam. Just talking about this one. And if you ask one more question, I'm gonna throw you out of the Don't worry, only for her. You guys are fine. She can take it. Okay, so we're gonna load this file. So Q5, we first create this empty sheet, and we're gonna go to data. Oh no, we're gonna stay here. Load this one called data for onboarding. Yeah, open it. It's loading, and we have one sheet. We're gonna load these.
Does it depend if you should choose sheet 1 or table 1 on the if you load the data?
No, you can click on it. Normally, it's sheet 1 contains all the cells,
Yeah.
and the table is
It's just
better.
but sometimes it's load.
Yeah, but sometimes the table is incomplete or it doesn't detect the header, so it's, yeah, you just need to check. And in my case just now, I don't even see a table, so I choose the sheet. So let's see, what did we import? We have sheet 1, and we're gonna rename it. Just, yeah, it's not necessary, but just for us to use it better. So we're gonna call it onboarding. So what we have here are year, quarter, Q start date, new employees, and onboarding costs. And we found out the new employees are with different numbers. So that also affects the onboarding cost. So when you have 4 employees, you spend 8,000. When you have 5, if you spend the same thing, you should be spending 10,000, but somehow 50 euro more was spent. So if we want to see a trend, we can create a measure to calculate how much money each onboarding spends per person. So we're gonna create a measure and use this one to divide the number of employees and see whether there's a change along time. So we randomly see here 12,550, and that's still 5 employees, and here is also 5 employees. But the cost indeed increased already. So we can see a little bit of those directions, but only if we have a measure that's better. So, but first of all, let's see the relationship, whether it can be linked with other things. What can be linked here?
Data table to onboarding.
To start date.
Start date to
Yeah, to
the
start
date
date,
table. 1 to 1, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So that's linked. We go back to data and we go to home, new measure, and we're gonna divide. So we're gonna say it's cost per employee. Let's say per M. Okay. You can name it whatever you want, just if it conveys the same message. So we're gonna use divide.
Professor, can you zoom in, please?
Oh yeah. We're gonna use divide, and the denominator would be the onboarding cost. Or does it work this way? Or I need to use some. Let me quickly cheat to my answers.
Wait, but that's average X. Onboarding minus cost divided by onboarding new employees. Right?
Yeah, which one?
Average X, no?
Did I put in? Oh, here. Average cost. Oh, it's average. Yeah,
Yeah.
average X onboarding divide.
Onboarding minus cost and after that divided in the onboarding on new employees, right?
Yeah, so average, because it's a measure, so it's average X, and the table would be, is this the table? It's called onboarding table, and we're gonna use divide.
No, but it's onboarding.
Huh?
No, but next gonna go onboarding minus cost divided by onboarding new minus employees, new employees.
I think
No,
it's
my answer was this, so divide and then onboarding costs and divide by the new employees. So
Okay.
that's gonna first divide these two and then average them.
Oh yeah, you just used the, instead of slash, you just used divide.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And you use slash and
Yeah.
it works?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever works. So,
Yeah.
this is my measure to calculate the average. And now, let's see, what's asked is trending time and cost. So we have the cost now and we're gonna show the trending time. So we're gonna choose date first. No, not date. We're gonna choose the
Year, average cost per employee. Yeah,
cost
cost per employee is in year.
and the year.
Yeah.
The year within the onboarding.
Yeah, but still, and we have to use the line one, the line table. The line with the line chart.
Okay, so the line.
Yeah, there, yeah.
Yeah.
And change here. Okay. Yeah. How was your sales pitch?
yeah, I passed. That's good.
Huh?
Yeah.
Good grade?
Sorry?
Good grade or?
Oh no, we still have to wait for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, what is the function again? Average X? Oh.
Please tell me after the.
Yeah, let me show you.
So we use average X when we want to find any average. That's what it stands for, that's all.
Average X, it will have average per row, And then, yeah, I think the divide would be okay already, but the average X, yeah, I don't know, I use this one.
But what is the average X stands for?
Average per row,
Average
Everything, what's
per-
up?
per row, because measures goes by per row.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's also why later we can visualize the trends in time. So it conforms the cost per person indeed is rising. And then when you set the KPI said it should be 50% of the last value. So these should be the last value, right? But it's not clear what that is. In his answer, the target was set as 1,000, and that 1,000 is not 50% of the last value. So if we're gonna say it's 50% of this value, that's 2,640. So 50% of that is 1,320. Let's just use that number and set a target. So we go to these onboarding table, new measure. So every time you hear that we're gonna have a target, you can either calculate that, or sometimes because the target is just a goal to have, that's probably predefined as a number. So you can just type in that number.
1335, right?
Huh?
1335.
It says 50% of the last value, and the last value was 2640, so 50% is 1320. And in the answer it says 1,000. I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
But it's yeah. So we don't need to take this sentence very seriously. It's very vague. But we set a target just to show you how to set a target. So we have the target of 1320. We just wrote it. And then what we need to know is to show visualization gauge, including the target. So we're gonna use a gauge.
It's the rainbow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
rainbow.
Yeah,
Oh.
this is not
Oh. Yeah.
Here's the gauge.
Which needs to be on this page.
Yes. And now we want to include the target. So we put in the target. And what else should be there? KPI, costs. So I think the cost per employee, no, the onboarding costs.
Target? It's target and the
target is
yeah,
already
yeah,
there.
like that, yeah.
The target, no, it should be under target value.
Yeah, but that's gonna be changed, but I mean, like what has to be there is the target and average cost per employee. And after that,
That's including the target, what else?
yeah, so that's actually when you go to gauge access.
Yeah.
Gauge access is, yeah, there, yeah. Gauge access, yeah, actually, you don't need to do that because when you set the, so when you set the maximum instead of 2604 or 2640,
Yeah.
you change the nominal
Yeah.
number, so you don't need to do that.
True, yeah. Otherwise, the total number will always be twice the average.
Yeah, of course.
So sometimes to control, like the other exercise, it's easier to set the
But
max.
no, but the thing is when you change the value, minimum value, and the value and target value,
Yeah.
and you also do you just get that number.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just normal. So
I'm-
yeah, it's just,
I'm looking for some other inputs. There should be some values. I think it's,
Is
there
it
an
cost per
average?
employee?
cost per employee.
And target,
Yeah,
under
target,
target.
yes.
And then we need to
Value.
move this one to
Target,
value.
Yeah.
into target value, yeah.
And
Cost,
this one
yeah.
to
Yeah.
value.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So you see the number is changed.
Yeah.
That's why you don't need the gauge axis actually.
Yeah. If you have multiple gauges,
Yeah, yeah,
you
of
want
course.
to align them
Yeah,
with the same.
yeah, of course, yeah. But
Okay,
this, in this
so,
case.
so yeah, this, didn't ask for more, and actually, it's, yeah, it's 50% of last level, sounds good. But anyway, there are a lot of problems with this mock exam, but I think overall you get an